Hello fellow haunters, welcome to Grunge Haunts and Props. My name is Chris Leonardo, and today we are going to be making castings with Loctite foam in a silicone mold. If you've worked with Loctite foam before, it's not traditionally used in silicone molds, but I have a few tricks that allow us to make high quality castings of Loctite foam in silicone molds. So stay tuned and follow along, and we'll show you how to do it. Okay, so these are the different molds that I have to cast the Loctite in, and we use different techniques for different molds depending on what you want to do. So first mold, I just made this one. This is what I use for a full skull. I can use both these two for full skulls or half skulls. I'll do a full skull on this one, and then I'll do half skulls on these two. And then I have a block mold here that I'll show you the technique for that. But essentially, you're going to use saran wrap or in one way or another. You're going to either wrap it around the top or push it in to try to capture the details. So the challenge with Loctite is that, you know, it doesn't really seep into the silicone cracks and crevices very easily or well. So it needs a little bit of help, and that's why you kind of push it in there with saran wrap on top of it, or you seal it and force it to expand more slowly, and that will also help. So if you've actually done Loctite foam in molds before and it didn't turn out, yeah, stay tuned, because we're gonna show you how to make it work. So what you want to do when you're casting is set these up. I'm gonna do all of them at the same time. You want to have little pieces of saran wrap ready and available to go on top of the molds. So I have these cut and just set above the molds, and shake for 30 seconds on the Loctite. Okay, we've shaken it and we're ready to go. So you do want to somewhat work fast. It will start to expand, but you don't have to fill them all the way. It's going to expand to roughly double the size or the amount that you're putting in there. So we're going to start here. So that took about half the can to do all these molds, a little less than half. So I can usually do about 4 to 5 full skulls with 1 can of Loctite. And I just let any excess come out right over one of the skulls. So if you know, you're not using the whole can, you can seal Loctite and still reuse it. All you have to do is just clean out the end and put a strip of duct tape right on the end of the straw, and that will sit for at least a few weeks, a couple weeks on the shelf, and you can reuse this. Okay, so for the full skull, I do not want to put any water. I'm just going to seal that off with saran wrap. But any of the half skulls or the block molds, you want to squirt it with a good amount of water on the top, and that helps it create a skin and harden up a lot quicker. Basically, it uses moisture to harden. So I just put the saran wrap over the top of these, and then I push. So this is how I get the Loctite into the details. I just push it into, even if I'm going farther than the mold, it will expand outwards. So you just push that in, that's it. For the half molds, similar, not as easy. I usually just put my fingers in the middle of the saran wrap and then push down. You don't want to push it all the way to the bottom. You want to kind of evenly push it throughout the mold. And we really are worried about, you know, the teeth and the face details. And that's it. I'm gonna do the same thing for this blue mold. Side. And then for the full skull, instead of pushing it down, we're just going to fully wrap it in saran wrap. Oh, I don't have the backside on. So you're going to fully wrap the saran wrap around and then use just a rubber band to seal it. Another rubber band to hold the two shells together, plaster. And what I do on these is because I pushed the Loctite into the detail, I'm going to pound this a little bit to try to get it to seep in there. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and let these sit. The full skull, because it's sealed, is going to take about 3 hours till you take the cellophane saran wrap off, and then another 3 additional hours to fully cure. These take a long time for the full skulls. I usually do these at the end of the night when I'm done, you know, with doing any work. That way it just cures overnight. These, however, because they are exposed to air and we did squirt them with water, they should cure within hour, maybe a little longer than an hour. You can see this is already expanding here. And so they'll all expand up, and within an hour to 2 hours we can demold these, and then this one will just wait until late tonight or tomorrow to demold. But that's it. That's the trick. Saran wrap and squirting water in there. It's pretty easy. We'll demold these, and you will be able to see the detail that you get from Loctite foam. Okay, we're going to demold the castings that we did earlier. The full skull, it's still not dry, of course. Like I said, that's going to take several hours. So we'll just demold these other ones and just take the saran wrap off. And on these molds, you're just going to stretch out the silicone, try to break the seal on the casting as best you can. Just work them out of there. go. So we got our spikes. Now for the half skulls. This mold is really old and falling apart. But you know what? I can still make skulls out of it with Loctite. Nothing else, just Loctite. This mold, it's got holes and tears and rips in it. So I could not use this for anything but Loctite. And the only reason is because I can just put a piece of saran wrap right in the mold, and that Loctite won't stick to that plaster mother mold. If you put in like a great stuff, or if you did you know, some sort of mixed AB expanding foam, whether it's rigid or flexible, that's gonna leak right out of that hole and stick to your mother mold and destroy it. So this is pretty much a throwaway mold, but it still works for Loctite. As you can see, we have a half skull right there. There we go. Another half skull right there. Okay, so all we have to do is wait for the full skull, and then that's it. You've seen how to cast Loctite. You've seen all my tricks. Now go out there and make your own. Okay, so this is mostly cured. We're gonna go ahead and demold the full skull. You can see there's quite a bit extra on that one, so I put too much in there. Just pulling the mold slightly away from the sides. And we're just going to pull it right off. There you go. So now we have all our molds, or all our castings from the molds. I'm gonna show you how to clean these up, and we'll be done. I use turkey cutter. You can use a hacksaw, whatever, some sort of blade to cut these, but this seems to cut foam really easily, so I just really love using it. So first thing, you want to get this excess foam off of this skull here. There you go. And I like to save this. I will save all of the pieces that I cut off and use it for either I've been making like this river rock with this foam, with the spare pieces of foam, and that looks really cool. Also can make, you can put like a blood gel on this and turn it into like organs or, you know, some sort of grotesque scene. So we're gonna put those aside and save those. And just cut the ends off of all of these. For the half skulls, nothing special. I'm just gonna cut it, you know, basically where there's detail and then where there's not. Okay, after we cut those excess pieces, now we're going to go and just use the whole bit, 1 inch. Just rough it up on the bottom part. You can see like just how, you know, that smooth cut. We don't really want that. We want to rough it up, make a little definition where the teeth are, and this works great for that. So I just take it on the back side and just start drilling a little bit. So I'm just going to just kind of nick these portions here, and on the teeth I'm gonna kind of carve it out. Just like that. This one, you know, it's actually still pretty soft in there, so I'm gonna wait for this to just harden and fully cure. So, but you get the idea of how to do it. Same thing, you know, just carve out the indication of the teeth and nick up this, you know, this straight edges here, so it looks a little more organic. But that's it. And here is the final product. High quality Loctite foam castings in a silicone mold. Hey, if you enjoyed this tutorial, please like this video. If you're a haunter or a Halloween enthusiast, consider subscribing to get updates and notifications anytime we put out new content. Thank you for watching, and happy haunting!